Today I'm very happy to be interviewed by the Pacific Media Group about a major issue of concern, particularly to our Chinese community. As we all aware that there's been this developing so-called trade war between America, USA, and China. And the situation seems to be developing very fast. Australia seems to be caught up in this antagonism between the two countries. Development is very negative. This development could have potentially very damaging to the relationship. There's accusation about too many Chinese coming here. They're buying up all the houses, making the price of the house go through the roof, not allowing Australian-born first home buyer to share in the housing market and all that. So they blaming the too many Chinese coming to buy house here. Negativity, negative perception, negative feeling about Chinese in this country is very disturbing. We have to be very careful. So with all this concerning development about the relationship, we are the bridge. The Chinese community are the bridge from Victoria to the rest of China. At the Victorian government level, we have fantastic. We had very close and warm, cooperative, productive, mutually beneficial relationship between Victoria and the rest of China. So that relationship is very precious. We need to treasure it, we need to nurture it, we need to support it, because once this relationship is damaged, it's going to damage the welfare, the settlement, the good settlement of Chinese, Australian Chinese. We've been very lucky because there's no recession in Australia for more than 20 years. But say if this relationship with China is now going down the drain, right? It affects the economic activity of this country, and we have a recession. People are going to start looking for scapegoat. People are going to start looking for somebody to blame. People are going to start pointing finger at. And that's why I keep saying that we, as Australian Chinese, need to play a more active role, more creative role in terms of making the Australian public and Australian generally to appreciate our contribution, right? The Chinese community had not been very vocal. The Chinese community had always not very active in terms of politics. Just count how many members of parliament at the state or federal level, right? Yeah. At the federal level, we got only Penny Wong, who is the shadow minister for foreign affairs. At the state, only me, not even 5 in the whole country. And yet we are 5% of the population. We should be saying that, look, there should be 5% of the member of parliament of Chinese origin, but we are not. In the Parliament of Victoria alone, we got 4 Turkish member of parliament. And the Turkish is not even, 10% of the Chinese population here. The Jewish community is only about 10% of the Chinese population. But yet you got 6 members of parliament from the Jewish background. Throughout the long history of settlement in this country, we are not that particularly involved in civic life of this country. We are not involved in public debate. I would want to see our community taking up that challenge. That say that, look, this is our state, this is our country, because we are Australian. You like it or not, Australia is our home now. But do you play your part in terms of contributing to the debate of the future, of the plan, of the vision for this country? No, we don't. We deciding how you live, we deciding what's going to happen to you, okay? So unless we wake up to that, we are being shortchanged in terms of power relationship. This is all about power relationship. And we take up that challenge and say, no, enough is enough. This is our country. We want to be a part. We need to make noise in every possible way. We need to demand to talk to our member of parliament. We should continue to prod them, say, please, keep make representation on behalf of us because you are our voice, right? Although there are not many Chinese-born member of parliament, but we still can use member of parliament to make representation, expressing the concern on our behalf. If we sit back, there's nothing much I can do, so what? We're going to suffer what we suffered 150 years ago. For our Chinese to start making their voice heard, I think enough of them should be writing. Those who can write English, write to all the Australian, the age, expressing their concern and offering their idea that it doesn't have to be this negative, right? This is our country too. We are Australian. Whatever happened to this country, it happened to us. Each one of us deserve better. I believe also that the Chinese media locally play a very important role, just like this interview happened now. I hope that there's a lot more interview happening, not just with me, but with Chinese community leaders who are very, very concerned, but their voice not being heard. I think we should continue to make this debate, this discussion. Me and a number of Chinese community leaders, we have created the so-called Chinese Community Council of Australia, and we have a series of conference, and therefore the conference, which is on the 18th of August at the RMIT, on Swanton Street. So that conference is very important. And the conference is like sending a very powerful message, right? That we need to look at that relationship, we need to fix that relationship, and this is how we're going to recommend it, right? And there are speakers from the academic field, we got speakers from the political background, we got speakers from the business background, who we believe are going to be affected most. So I'm pleading for Chinese community, the leader, especially young intellectual, young business people, to come and join us and being part of the discussion. Where do we go from here? How do we make our voice heard? How can we reach out to the Australian government, but also particularly to the federal government, say, look guys, we are Australian Chinese, are very concerned with this negative development. We want to sit down and talk to you guys. We have suggestions because we know ourselves.